Hello, Year 6. Welcome to your third English session. It is Thursday, the 7th of January today. So, our WALT for today is to identify strengths and weaknesses in a text. Now, this one should be a relatively straightforward one if you completed yesterday's task. So, what I'm looking for is that you identify missing features of a genre, that you identify features that have been correctly used in that genre, and that you're answering questions about the strengths and weaknesses within that genre. Now, yesterday, you looked at a model text of a newspaper report to help you with your cold right. Apologies, no, not with your cold right. You did that the day before. To help you with beginning to understand better what the features of that genre are, and therefore being able to better understand how to sort of imitate and use those features yourself. Now, today is slightly different. So, first thing I'd like you to do, thinking back to yesterday and all those features you found, I'd like you to look at the 4 features that are about to come up and work out which one of these is the odd one out and explain why. If you're doing this in school, you can have a discussion with the people around you and your class teacher. If you're doing it from home, you can write down the one that you think is the odd one out, and then you can do a little dash and explain why you think it's the odd one out. Whilst you're doing that, just pause the video and then start it up again when you've had that discussion or when you've written that into your books. Okay, so the odd one out then would be headings. The reason it's the odd one out is in a newspaper report, we don't have headings. We do include the 5 W's in our introduction. We will have captions on any photographs that are included in the report. And we do have quotes from witnesses that were there for whatever the story is. We have a headline, which is the name of sort of the overall story encapsulated in a headline at the very top of the page. But we don't have headings. Headings are something that we would find in non-chronological reports, for example. So headings was the odd one out. Right then, today, what I'd like you to look at is I'd like you to look at the copy of a different newspaper report. That's also included in your packs. And I'd like you to think about what areas it diverges. That means it goes away from the normal features of a newspaper report. So I'd like you to go through and I'd like you to find areas where the features are correct, but also areas where the features are incorrect. So I would start with that. I'd go through and I'd be highlighting, underlining, or writing down, whichever you prefer to do, where this has features that are not in keeping with the features we now know for a newspaper report, which is why I said at the beginning of this video, if you did yesterday's activity, you shouldn't struggle too much with today's, because you should know quite clearly which are features for a newspaper report, and therefore you should be able to spot the ones that aren't. When you've done that, you can then go through and identify areas where it is in keeping and it is doing what we expect from a newspaper report. Once you've done that, there is an extension. I'll quickly talk through the extension now, and then I'll leave you to get on with your activity. So the extension is to create a Venn diagram of features. I want one section to be a newspaper report and one section to be any other genre of your choice. Now remember, a Venn diagram has 2 sections or more, and they have an overlapping section in the middle. So you're going to have features that only go in a newspaper report. You're going to have features that only go in the genre that you've chosen, but there should also be features that go in both, which means you need to think carefully about what genre you choose, because there needs to be some in every section. Okay, they are all your tasks for today. Firstly, completing and highlighting or writing down the incorrect features of a newspaper report, so areas where this is not following the routine of a newspaper report, and then the extension we've just spoken about. That's everything, and when you've done that, just like before, just like every other day, if you can send a photo, a scan, or typed up version of your work into me for some feedback, that would be greatly appreciated. Hope everyone's getting on okay. I'm already missing being in school and teaching you face to face, but for now, this is the best we can do. Hope you're well. Speak to you again tomorrow. See you very soon. Goodbye.